Good morning, bright and early. Um, Anybody that's been following my predicament knows I'm in a real bind. And the circumstances were beyond anything I could do or control. It's something happened with my rental unit. I mean, tenants left and left it a mess, and uh, I spent all my money fixing it up and couldn't get it rented. And it wasn't sold, and I finally my banker, the president of the bank, the CEO, finally returned an email, and I was pretty much begging him not to foreclose on me because it's just a matter of time before the property sells. And I'd been a pretty good client for quite a few years. And his response was, I definitely, I think he said, I definitely continue marketing it and just pray for a quick sale. He goes, you're over 100 days behind and our hands are tied. So pretty much, I just relisted it with a different agent. The agent I had with did a good job. I just felt we were both burned out, and if I was going to have a snowball's chance in Hades to get a good price on it, needed fresh eyes, whole fresh new look and marketing, uh, and it turns out I guess it'd be my youngest nephew. Yeah, think of the ages, but I think so. Uh, his wife's brother, I believe, um, is a realtor, and he handled my brother Scott's property. And I called him up, and he jumped right on it. And pictures are going to be out tomorrow at the latest. I mean, it's all done. It's a done deal. They jumped on it, so um, hoping for a quick close. It's I mean, it's sad because it's so little money, and my equity and everything is three times my debt. Just everybody's in such a hurry, and all I want to do is get, like, once I get that property sold, everybody gets paid off. But, um, they keep screwing up, and um, credit cards have written it off already, and settling with this other company that's a debt collection company. Last thing I wanted to do, but on a weekday, I guess it was, I must have talked to him and set up a withdrawal out of my account for money I didn't have, which put me in. I mean, it meant I couldn't pay anybody anything else, which was the wrong move. I should have kept paying at least on the houses, because both of them are up, will be up for foreclosure any day now, and my truck will be repoed. Um, it's amazing how fast this happens, and uh, your credibility, your past, your performance, your reputation has zero to do with it. And I think what else has a lot to do with it is the bank on that house market value is actually on that, definitely that on my Pell Lake property, is three times the the equity is three times my debt load. So why not foreclose? It's an easy bang, you know. And, um, they'll just penalize and fees and everything. You know, just kick me, kick the dog while he's down, until they can burn up all the money and take all the money that they make over and beyond what the note was supposed to be, and with their fees and extra penalties and brother-in-law attorneys and everything else, paying their country club fees. I won't see a dime. Um, so Oh, that's what it's going to do. I don't know if I can. Let's see if I can do this. Um, that show. That's my Patreon link. If it came up, if anybody's there, um, what? Again, I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of people here, so um, one thing that's part of this channel is Bass, Braden Artistic Studios, and um, I am offering for anybody that wants to bid to help keep the farm the one and only pizza peel. There's one of two. I shouldn't say one of only, um, but it'll be the only thing possibly, unless I can save this, that's going to come out of the uh, studio, Bass Studio. Signed, one of two. It's not for full size pizza. It's for my size pizza. As soon as I can get to the store, afford to even get to the store and get some cheese and the makings, I will do a video on making the pizza dough I found and really like. And it's one you can make right away and use. And it's the same old story. They say um, it's better if you rest it in the refrigerator. Actually, let it proof in the refrigerator overnight. Then you bring it out and let it rise the next day. And yeah, I'm a smoke too much. I do all the bad stuff too much because I can't tell the difference. It's as good that right as soon as I make it as it is the next day. So anyhow, I will try to do my pizza recipe. Uh, I lived in New York for a while, and there's nothing better than those nasty cheese pizzas that are all you walk the streets. That's all you smell is those pizzas. The only place you can get that taste and flavor is those greasy New York pizzas, the cheese pizza. You put anything else on them, it takes away from the nasty cheese. That is so good. I'm close. It's not perfect, but it sure takes me back a lot of years. Not too many good memories out of living in New York City, but there's a couple that I remember. It was definitely right in the smack dab prime of my alcoholism. Uh, I'm surprised I got out of there alive, much less alive and out of prison. I pulled a really boner stunt there and actually got it covered. But oh, Jesus. Um, Forrest Gump was fashioned after me. Stupid is as stupid does. And man, I was stupid. Anyhow, this will be there. If you want to help me through Patreon, keep the place. It'd be greatly appreciated. But, I don't know if it's a lost cause or not. I had a little hope today. I've got some encouragement. Um, I haven't given up because once I give up, you give up the ship and I'm done, and I can't give up because I've got lives to take care of. Um, I got my 4 dogs. I got 100 pigeons. I've got 3 peacocks, 2 or 3. I don't. It seems like one's missing, but they. Um, After I got mine, the neighbor got some. We live right downtown in a little village. I've got 10 acres, and he's got 10 square feet. I mean, just a big lot. And he wound up with some peacocks. So they go back and forth like kids do. And sometimes they spend the night over there. Sometimes they spend the night over here. A lot of times they're over here for dinner. Just who cares? They're beautiful birds, and I'd rather have them come in between our places than the neighbor's birds used to go the wrong way, away from my place. And this lady just had her deck painted, and um, everybody knows me as an old crazy guy, crazy old hippie. at the end of the road with the flags and the birds. And she I was out working one day this last summer. She comes whipping in my driveway, and I always try to be nice. You know, the minute somebody pulls in my driveway, I cringe because I really enjoy my privacy. But when they do, I grin and bear it. You know, I can be nice if I have to. I was nice. And she said, I got a bone to pick with you. I said, okay, okay. What can I do for you? She says, your peacocks come down to my deck, poop all over the new paint job. They're destroying it. They get in my gardens, rip it up. I said, where do you live? She says, down River Road, and then you turn down and go. I said, no, no. I don't think they're mine. Oh, yes, they are. You're the only one that have peacocks. I said, oh, no, that's not quite true. Um, let's just do this because my neighbors have pied, and they're younger than mine. I said, take a look at mine. And if they are mine and I can't control them, I'll shoot them. Because I do not, and they do not have the right to infringe on your freedoms and your enjoyment of your property. And I will kill them if that's what you want. And she kind of looks at me, and I start walking around the house, and which you walk around my house and go to the lakeside, and it's all secluded and stuff. She's kind of hesitating. I said, come on, you gotta see the peacocks and tell me if they're mine. And I start walking back, and I go, peep, peep. The oldest one comes to peepers. And all of a sudden, here comes this peacock flying in. Boom, hits the ground. And he's standoffish, especially with strangers there. But he comes in the backyard, and he struts around. And I said, well, that's the oldest. That's Peepers. Does he look familiar? She said, wow, he looks awful big. And I'm not sure the color. I said, okay. So then I go, babies, babies. And the two babies come flying in. And they weren't quite feathered out yet. So they're quite a bit smaller. They're a couple of years younger than Peeps. And I said, well, here's my young ones. She's just looking at me astonished that I'm calling my birds in. I guess, I don't know. It's natural to me. I don't know if anybody else calls her peacocks, but mine will come. They just come running when I call them. And they can be a block away, and it may take them some time, but all of a sudden I'll turn around. They're there following me around, looking for their dog food treat. But I don't know where that came from. Oh, I'm just telling you what I had to take care of. I'm keeping the faith. My good Lord's never taken me down a road that I didn't need to go down. And it's another adventure. I'm just, I'm tired. I'm truly, truly tired of starting over. I don't know how many times in my life I've started over, and it's never been a big deal. Up until now, something happens. When I start over, I hit the ground running. Just you don't look back. Just it's just another day, and you keep going, and it's never caused me much grief. And I guess age does catch up on you. I just like this place so much. I built it. I designed it. I had anybody that goes through my Facebook stuff, you'll see the old house, and unfortunately there was an accident, and it burnt to the ground and took all the birds. You see the cockatoos, and took all my birds with them, and that was a hard time, hard to get over. And thank God I had my cockers. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't have made it. I know that for a fact. My animals keep me going. That's why I get up in the morning. Without them, there's no reason. So it'll be hard giving this up. I've got a great workshop, super big 2-car garage. That's where I built this. Shopsmiths. I don't know. I bought one. I do crazy things. I bought one shopsmith, and I had to buy two more. Or I bought it the second one, and then I bought a half one, so I got two and a half shopsmiths. Uh, in between the two and a half, I think I've got just about every attachment ever made for them, and they're just great. They have limits; they're limited to size wise and a few things, unless if you put a lot of effort into building these things all together. But it's got to be hands down the neatest piece of equipment I've ever had. Um, I'm a lathe freak. I love turning on the lathe, and I make mini pens, and you find out there's not much I don't do. So the garage is set up with two and a half um, shop smiths. I've got a welding Miller welder in there that's all set up, and the welding shop's ready to go. Um, it's just it's nice. The basement um, is well, the house is a cathedral ceiling in the main room. It's 17 first floor, well, both floors, first floor and the basement. But the basement, I'm looking out. I'm in the basement right now, and I'm looking out onto the lake. Behind me, it's window wells, and I've got egress windows, and you'd have to climb out. Lakeside, you can just scoot out the windows, and you're gone. So I got 1,700 square feet on each floor. The upstairs is the main room is 30. I think it's 30 something by 32 by 32. It's a big open room, which is my living room, dining room, and kitchen. One room open, no dividers, no nothing. Um, and the other real room on the first floor is my bedroom. Uh, got a couple nice closets, and I've got a laundry room on the first floor that is as big as most people's kitchens, and it's got all nice cabinetry in it, and uh, pretty nice. It's a nice room for a laundry room, and that's it on the first floor. And downstairs, I've got room. You can, as it sits right now, you can put four bedrooms down here, and the room behind me here is a big dark room, media room you could have. Um, I use it for anything I need, pitch black for. Not that I develop photography anymore, pictures, but it's it's a dark room, and I've got ventilation fans in there. So, but you could have that as a big family room, and another full bath down here. I got bath and half. Anyhow, it's my house. It's I think I've owned, this would be 13 or 15 homes in my life. I don't stay in one place often or much, and this is only one I built, and it was because of the fire. I had good insurance, State Farm. They stepped right up, kind of stepped right up. But I used to, one of my careers throughout my life was I was an independent insurance agent. I had my own agency, and insurance agency on one side, real estate on the other. So after the fire, and after I kind of came to and realized, you come out of that fog of you just lost everything. I just pulled the policy out and started highlighting, and um, I nitpicked it to the last penny. I think they were real tired of me, and they got the last laugh because a year after that they canceled me. And if you ever get canceled from a standard insurance company, you're cooked. You get this. You're lucky if you can get bad insurance. I went 3 years, 2 years, 3 years before I could get insurance. The new house had no insurance for 3 years, no liability, no nothing. Talk about scary. The rental unit, Pell Lake, the bank picked it up. I says, what you're paying, and they only pick up their interest. So if I had a fire, they'd be covered, and I'd be out. kind of like what's happening now. But um, it took 3 years claim free. Um, I got State Farm to pick me up again. I, the credits you get. I've had State Farm since I lived out in the farm. I did my I was raising custom beef cattle, crossing special breeds to get a heavier, faster steer um, that was still developing, but he's at butcher weight, so it was like getting a steer that had the the meat was the consistency or more the tendency you find in veal because he was still, anyhow, crazy things I've done in my life. But I had picked up State Farm there, and over the years, it built. There were so many credits that nobody could touch it. It was hundreds of dollars apart. Go to any other agency, and that's how many credits I had. And it doesn't take long. I'm building back all the credits for the multi car discount, or no, I don't have multi cars anymore. But all the discounts you get. So there's my plug for State Farm. I plugged Shopsmith, Yi cameras, YI cameras, Yi cameras. They're the GoPro wannabe, kinda. I mean, a horrible way to put it because I love these things. They're cheap, inexpensively cheap. I've got my home security is all on that. And it was, I think it had four cameras for under $100, under 100. And then I added a couple more, and I can see I've got them out in my greenhouse, so I can check the temperature on my seedlings. I've got them. I can check the dogs. I got the front door. I've got actually the inside one is on a turret, and they're not waterproof, but I got an overhang, and I've got it under there, so I've got a motion sensor turret one out there, and it's great. I mean, somebody at the door, I know who's there before I get there, so it's and they're inexpensive, great. If you're looking for them, YI Home is the home security ones. Just YI Home, and it'll take you right to their site. Amazon carries them, but Amazon won't put me on as an affiliate. And brand new, why would he? But they were pretty rude about it, and spent a lot of money in Amazon. I mean, on the store end of it, I've had a few complaints and stuff, and they bend over backwards. They first, first argue a little bit or kind of put up an objection. I said, pull my account. If it's not worth satisfying me, I'll go back to. I say go back to eBay, but I am an affiliate for or a partner with eBay, and I love eBay. They're both good. They both have their goods and bads, and I don't know where he's going with that. All this anyhow. I'm tired. So if you want a chance, I don't know, bid on it, or whoever gives the biggest donation to save the farm. Or if you really want it, I guess, and if nobody else does anything, just tell me you want it, and we'll figure out a way to get it to you. I did. It's kind of neat. I don't know if it'll show up, but I split the handle, so this is inlaid, so it's not, hopefully help from it not warping because it's one piece of pine, and then it should be a lot stronger because now it's a 2-ply where the handle is, so you shouldn't break it. A good kitchen food safe finish. It's sealed with my favorite finish, pre-finish anyhow. I use it all the time, and it's shellac. I love shellac. And actually, I made it myself. I buy the shellac chips. I use bullseye too. I mean, you give me shellac in any way, shape, or form, and I'll use it. But this thing, my desk back here is shellac. So is the frame around the TV. It's all shellac just for my studio here. Um, and then I took beeswax and melted beeswax down, and I didn't have walnut oil, but I did have some sesame seed oil, pure sesame. So you mix that with the um, the beeswax, and then I hand buffed it. And I used I get beeswax for a lubricant for stuff on with the shopsmiths, and it's chunk. They come in bars, in a whole bar with 2/3 of a bar because there's a little bit left, and I'm going to put another coat on, plus the sesame seed oil is all hand rubbed in here, and I'll put another coat so it'll be ready to go. And then whatever you choose, whoever gets it, if anybody gets it, can put what they want on it. But I had build one. I've been since I started this. Found this pizza recipe. Uh, I I don't have a pizza stone because of late I've been pretty strapped. I went out in the greenhouse and I've got a terracotta base for a big pot. So it's the base, it's pretty big. And then the center part, you flip it upside down, and the flat part will give you about a 9-inch pizza, which fits on that. That's what the peel is made for, is that size pizza. And I finally had to make it because the last time I made a pizza, it was the second. When I make the dough, it's enough for 2 regular sized dough pizzas. Um, so your first one is 9-inch, and the second one will be a big 9-inch with big crusts on it. And I packed this baby full. I mean, it was just full. I make my own Italian sausage and loaded with cheese. Oh, yeah. And I didn't have a peel, so I've got this big cutting board, one of those white plastic type things, whatever they are, kitchen safe. I'm trying to slide it on into an oven that's 575 degrees, trying to slide it off this cutting board and hit the little 9-inch hole or landing spot in the middle of my oven. And I kind of skidded off it, and all this meat goes all over. And, um, you may have seen my kitchen in behind some shots if I've been walking through it. Cleanliness is not next to me. I'll tell you that. I'm a slob. But my stove, inside of my stove is immaculate. I was able to scrape it all out and little burnage, put it back on the pizza, shut it up, and 12 minutes later had perfect pizza. So that's where the peel came from. Anyhow, it's 2:30 here in Endeavor, Wisconsin, um, middle of the United States. And I still have to go out and um, make some LED grow lights. I've got the LEDs, and I've been fighting over what drivers to use, and I'm just too tired not to worry about it. And um, I shouldn't say this after I've had some house wires, but if it burns down the greenhouse, all it's going to do is kill the damn termites. So it would be a good thing. I've got the right power things. I can't joke about that because it could come back and bite me in the butt. But it'll be an all-nighter because I want to get. I just have a good feeling that I can keep the other bank and the credit union that has my truck at bay, with the little bit I have left over with my disability income. That's what I live on, is disability, Social Security disability. And I used to have the rent from the um, house, but I can't rent it, can't sell it, can't. Um, and that's why I'm in such a bind. Um, but I hopefully can keep them at bay for another 2 months. And the worst case scenario, and I just hate the idea of this, um, is going bankrupt. Just, it's against everything I believe in. But I live on YouTube. It's on 24/7. Um, so I've been watching everything on um, bankruptcy, and it's really not a bad option for me because I file bankruptcy, uh, Chapter 13. Then I have to immediately, or right before we do file, I've got to rent the house, so it's no longer for sale, because that income is an integral part of me living here. The taxes are so high. I need that income to live here comfortably. And in 5 years, I can have everybody paid up, everything. I mean, everything in good shape, and I still own the rental. It would be good for everybody. Because I'm not looking for a way to, um, get out of debt, because I got in it. It was my debt. And I don't need it forgiven. I just need the chance to pay it off. The money's there. It's just relax. Be happy. It's coming. You're charged. And explain this to me. There's no risk. The house is worth way more than all my debt. I sell Pell Lake and I walk out scot free. I don't owe anybody a dime, and I have a little bit to put away for the god awful taxes I pay here. That alone will get me out of here in a few years. But so there's no risk. The bank is still making interest. They charge late fees. In Ashley, one bank I know has jumped, kicked the interest rate up, and all we're talking about is a date. When I first started getting arrears, I said, I don't know when I can sell this. It's for sale. I'm looking for, almost back then, any offer within reason, within the market value. And if you, instead of me being behind all the time, just change it to an annual payment date, and I'll have it paid off within a year. If it doesn't sell, I'll give it to you. But they wouldn't do it. Wouldn't hear it. Yeah, I'm just a poor schlep. I'm not one of their golden clients or anything, but they've done nothing but made money, and I haven't been too bad of a client, I don't think. But who gets hurt there? Who's that hurt? It's not like I'm taking all my money and going to the casinos and blowing it, or living high off the hog. Living large. I live large, but that doesn't take money. That takes a good attitude, a whole new way of looking at life. And anyhow, it's late. In a half an hour, that I was only going to do a quickie. If you get a chance, if you got an extra $1, kick it my way. I'd appreciate it. If not, I don't expect it. I've never been, I had some devastating things happen, and I'm not complaining, but I've never had, total house fires that left me with nothing. I didn't even have clean underwear. A pair of socks on and dirty underwear, and somehow I got out the window. And I never saw the Red Cross. I never saw Goodwill. I never saw any of these emergency response. These people everybody's giving money to that go help, you know, people that go, you know, survive things that I survived. And I've never seen them. They've never showed up to help me. Um, oh well, you know, I'm not complaining because I just hit the road, you know, I hit the road running. But it's would have been nice once, you know. But oh well. I'm a big boy and I take responsibility for everything that's happened to me. It's all due to my choices. So all I've got to say is that's my story and I'm sticking to it. You all have a good night now. And keep watching. I'm going to do my damnedest to stay here and keep going and have a channel. I have 3 channels that you can come and find videos anytime, guaranteed to bore you to death and put you to sleep, and maybe get you to smile. You know what more do you want out of life? It's good. Good night, all.